Hey, how the heck are you? I'm trying this again. This is the first time I've attempted to do a video in over a week. I've tried 3 other attempts and I just can't get there without crying or breaking down in some way. So I'm going to try to muddle through this one here. Um, I've always envisioned my videos really not really beer reviews, just kind of a guy hanging out in the pub and having a conversation. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just kind of talk to you while I'm having a beer. I'm going to have a Lagunitas Sucks, 7.85%, 63.21 IBUs. That's rather precise. And why drink a Sucks? Well, I don't know, other than right now life kind of sucks. So I'm going to have a Sucks here. It's been a rough couple weeks, we lost our son Seamus on the 23rd of April. It's one of those things you still don't know what really happened. I mean, he'd been doing so well, and then not. I mean, it just happened in an instance. I mean, he'd been doing so great. Everybody was marking how good he looked. And then he caught a virus, and then the cancer came back, and then it was over just like that, man, and I'm going to start crying again. Beer's got a great aroma. I'm hoping to someday get back to my old howdy-do self, but I'm just not quite there yet. I did my videos before, and I kind of... I always thought that the beer video business or the game or whatever, I'm not making any money as, so it's really not a business. But, it seemed like so many of them were so pretentious and so ridiculous that when I started doing beer videos, I kind of went the other direction. I mix some facts, I tell stories, and a little buffoonery. But that guy you always saw in the videos really wasn't a persona. It's who I was all the time. I was that guy. I was like that off camera. And right now, I just can't find that guy. I don't know where he is, and everything I do is forced. When I'm in situations where I don't want to be morose, and I want to be, I don't want to seem like I'm depressed. I try to bring some of that guy out, but it's always forced now, and it was always natural before. So I'm really struggling at the moment. Trying to find who I am. I don't really know how to act, to be honest, without Seamus. He was such an integral part of my wife and our lives. We have an older daughter, but she's been out of the house for quite some time, so our life was revolved around him, and now I just don't know what to do with myself. I try to keep busy doing little things. We'd been out of our house for 3 months, so there's obviously work to do around the house and work to do in the backyard. Because quite frankly, it's been the whole thing's been kind of neglected for over a year while we were dealing with it all. But so I try to keep myself busy, and then when I'm not, my mind kind of wanders to everything else. Could I have done something different? Could we have seen something sooner? It just drives me crazy because I keep trying to figure out did I miss something, and the bottom line is, well, it really doesn't matter because I can't fix it now anyway. It's really depressing. We had a great memorial for him. Anybody that knew Seamus would know he didn't like a lot of attention, so we didn't want to do a typical funeral with a viewing. He would have hated that, so we just had a memorial service, and we wanted to do it where it was more about, it was just about Seamus, and we wanted to make it, we had it where it was near his school, so all of his school friends could show up, and a whole bunch of them did. I don't know how many people were there, but they had originally fixed a hall up for us that held 125 people, and they had to keep adding chairs, and they kept adding chairs to where it was at capacity. So I don't know how many people were actually there, but there was quite a few kids. And they had it set up originally where 3 kids could come up and speak, but I decided I wanted to open it up and let everybody that wanted to say something about Seamus could. And so many kids, one right after the other, said so many nice things about him. It was just unbelievable. That was really the best part for the wife and I, is listening to all those kids talk about him. A lot of times kids are one way around their parents and a different way with their friends or at school. Seamus wasn't. That's what was so unique about him. He was just the same person all the time. There was nothing fake. He's the only guy I've known in my whole life that sort of cross-click lines. I mean, he got along with everybody. He was the same way all the time to everybody. Didn't have any hate or malice towards anybody. And I know some of you are going to think, well, maybe you just didn't know him well. But the truth is, he didn't think bad about anybody. He never did a bad thing. He just didn't. It's really hard to explain. But he just didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't a Stepford child, don't get me wrong. I mean, he talked back upon occasion, but he never did anything with malice or to hurt anybody. And that's what was so incredibly unique about him. And, every day is just a struggle. Every minute, you say, is one day at a time. It's not even one day at a time right now. It's minute by minute, and hour by hour, and day by day. I keep watching the clock thinking, okay, let's get through this, get this day to end. Let's get this date to end and let me get to the next one. So, wow. Didn't really drink much of this beer. I've ran about 6 minutes, so I think I'm going to stop here and try another one. I don't know if anybody's going to watch me or listen to me or not, but hey, this is Tom, the Beer Whisperer, and I was wanting to talk a little bit about Seamus. Well, Drinkin this sucks. He would appreciate the irony. I love you, buddy, and I miss you. Hey, thank you all for watching me.